Chat parent Snap snapping up shares again. It's day 2 of the snapping debut, and the stock continues to spike and skyrocket, although it is off the earlier highs. Still up about 9%. Earlier today, though, up more than 15% on the news that NBC Universal had invested $500 million into Snap as part of the IPO. With all that said, is this company really worth more than $30 billion? Charlie Gasparino is here.
By the way, I mean, I think that's kind of an odd reason to think the stock should go way up just because they bought into the IPO. A lot of people bought into the IPO, and what makes NBCU a great investor? We don't know.
Wasn't it sort of a, hey, we'll partner with you on media issues too? $500 million is a lot of coin.
People, I know. It is. It's not a lot to.
Maybe it's a land grab.
It's a land grab for them. But I'll just throw this out there. I've been talking to even bankers who, usually pump up these stocks, and analysts over the last couple of days, and they make two interesting observations. They are worried about the valuations of these companies when they come public as IPOs. And what they say is this: these IPO valuations are preventing the normal creative destruction from occurring that would occur later when the companies maybe don't do so well. Right. And what they say is for every Facebook you have, okay, which did very well, was profitable when it started, you have Zynga, you have Twitter, and maybe even Snap. Now, Zynga's interesting.
Groupon, I mean, we could put some of these up, and when you look at their value, well look at this stock themselves, but
Zynga debuted at $10 a share. Where's it trading now? It's a penny stock, $2.60.
Okay, where are they now?
Okay.
Look at it.
$2.60.
Facebook's doing
$2.60. Twitter. Look at that one. Twitter came out at 26. They're now at 15. I am telling you that if this thing came out where it should have came out at 12, maybe it would trade down to 15 and people would buy it at 15. It would be a sale at 15. And I'll tell you, Snap, people are saying the same thing. Is this thing worth 17? Now it's up to, what, 27? The question is, if it came at a more rational, reasonable IPO price, say 12, could it be sold down the line if it doesn't live up to expectations, which seems to be the norm rather than seems to be the rule as opposed to the exception.
Let's also make this point. It's lost $500 million last year. Actually, $515 million net loss last year. But hey, they got $500 million from NBC, so they're net they're still down about $15 million. But
NBC has some room on their balance sheet to invest $500 million. And this is a company that throws off. Comcast they're owned by Comcast, throws off a lot of revenue. They can do stuff like this. My point is this: that there is an unholy alliance between bankers, and this is what the small investor, and we're out for you.
There's an unholy alliance between you and me with these flower crowns.
That's what you're paying $27 a share for. We're here for the small investor. There is an unholy alliance between bankers. It's hard to be serious when I'm all right. I know you're giving me the rap, but let me make my point before I go. There is an unholy alliance between bankers, the Silicon Valley VCs, and these moronic millennial reporters that see anything with a .com next to it and pump it up, and they don't provide the investing public with rational discourse on these companies. And the bottom line is, a lot of these are pig in a poke. And they don't have good management. And what made Facebook better by the end was the institution of good management too. And this is why you got to be very careful and don't believe the hype. By the way, I saw those two kids that ran Zynga or that Snapchat cheering yesterday. They're billionaires over nothing.
Well, over something
there. At least Trump started some hotels.
The president has just landed in West Palm Beach, Florida, and he is exiting Air Force One, having just met on school choice. And there's an important market point here to be made. And he did it, but I got some more numbers. Since the election, the total market value of all global stocks just hit an all-time high of $56.7 trillion, pushed over that limit in part by the $4 trillion that's been added to the U.S. stock market since Election Day.
Listen, this is an amazing, amazing market run, because even at Dow 18,000, people, there was talk that that market was overpriced, and now we are here with a burst of buying activity based on free market capitalism that we haven't seen in a long time.
Here's Jared Kushner with his children. We just saw Marco Rubio.
That's his senior advisor, who's also son-in-law, and I believe there's Ivanka,
There's Ivanka, correct.
Right. Liz, just think of it this way. Again, I don't want to throw cold water, because I like his policies and this market. But here's the thing. The average PE, generally, long-term, historically, on S&P 500 stocks is about 15, right?
Right, yep.
Where's it now? 22?
18, 19, 20.
22?
Depending, yeah. And by the way, we're just 1 point over Dow, 21,000. Donald Trump actually just tweeted. Can we put that up? And here's the tweet.
He tweeted about the market this morning.
I hereby demand a second investigation after Schumer, as in Senator Chuck Schumer, this could be, spelling is incorrect, of Pelosi for her close ties to Russia and lying about it. So again, the he said, she said, he said over who met with the Russians in the past.
Following Jeff Sessions' concession that he did meet with them after he said he didn't. Listen, you know, one of the things that can disturb the markets is something that, you know, that we are stuck in this political cycle on, you know, finger pointing on Russia when we should be talking about how we getting the budget going. By the way, I talk to congressional staffers on the Hill. They tell me there's no real detail on the budget. So how are you going to get tax cuts without a budget?
And by the way, we should also mention we're about to hit the debt ceiling in a week or two.
There's an issue there, too.
Folks, I've been covering business news for close to 2 decades. Oy, has it been that long? When you get close to a debt ceiling...
Don't make me feel old in the process, okay?
All right,
please,
I know.
I'm older than you.
But when you get close to hitting a debt ceiling, and you get some fiscal hawks saying, please do not raise the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling, for those of you who don't know, is pretty much the credit card upon which the country can borrow.
But do you really think that the Republican Congress is going to shut down everything with a Republican president?
No, they learned from doing that once before that was extremely unpopular. But again, as we're just at 21,000, exactly. So we're just flat on the session.
By the way, if the market is down today, which it might, or we don't know, right? It's almost flat. When was the last time we had 2 down days in the market?
Well,
in a row.
Exactly.
Not a lot, no.
We do not see that often. And, you know, the 10-year yield earlier hit its highest since February 15th, 2.51%.
The yield did?
Yes, 2.51%.
Because that's interesting, because that means the bond investors are starting to get more comfortable with fiscal stimulus. They actually believe it's coming. If they're doing that, so they're selling the bond, they're selling bonds.
Right.